Hello and welcome back to ACES and Allies. This will be a quick intro. This game will be split into two parts because the game exceeded roughly 8 hours total, so that's edited down. So I had to split it into two parts, make it more easier to digest, I guess. I could split it into 4, but let's just do 2 here. In addition, from UK2, UK round 2, to USA 4, all of those rounds and in between will be a voiced over section due to previously mentioned software issues that also affected my club team game as the ACES when I was playing Germany. So yeah, I do apologize for that. That's also a heavily edited section, as well as being voiced over. So I do hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy playing. Now on to the video, and thank you for your time. Hello and welcome back to ACES and Allies. I'm going to be starting my game versus El Capo. He'll be playing the ACES, I'll be playing the Allies within the A&A Club. Right, without further ado here, let's get on with the game. Enjoy Cap's Valentine Horror. That's a great name. Not too much thought for this round, of course, except my standard. Nothing crazy. I just want to clarify that within the A&A Club, the teams games, there are some proper highly skilled players competing as well. It's not a, this is a, it's quite a loaded setup. I may present all the players who are participating, but it really is loaded with some outstanding players, so this should be quite exciting. And the team I'm on, Panzers East, it's got a very strong opposition, I would say. I haven't played I haven't played any of them, but you can check their rank, you can see how they're doing, so. Alright. Standard 12 and 9 for the Russians here, and we just gotta hope for the best. Right, a below average West Russia. This is not good. I really need him to mess up his Germany 1. I need an outstanding Ukraine here. Russia does need a chance to not be a pushover in this game. That's it, that's what I like to see. Gonna go in for the kill, hopefully we can finish it off. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, quite a poor West Russia, all things considered there. He could attack both, but I'm going to take the risk, split my A guns, because I need something here. I need some compensation somewhere. Hopefully he has a hard time dealing with Ukraine. And if he goes for West Russia, he pays it. Pays for getting confident like that. Yeah, it's certainly less than ideal. Yeah, that's the end of Russia 1. And then we're back for UK round 1. Alright, here is the roster for Season 3. I didn't showcase it in my other game. So yeah, it'll be Panzers East. As you can see here, General Jippy is our captain. Truly an outstanding player. I do recommend going to Mac's channel and watching his game versus General Jippy. Truly, both amazing players. So yeah, specifically, I'll be going. Panzers East will be going against Battleships, Commanders, and ACES High. Currently, against ACES High here. Art Mentis being their captain. You got some very solid players on their team. Yes, this is no joke. This is some serious competition. Let's see, Battleships. Yeah, Rod as their captain. From what I've seen so far, he's truly another amazing player. Yeah, like top 10 as well. Husky, I'll mention him. He was, I'm pretty sure I've showcased a match against him on the channel. That was a very good game as well. You also have Pentix as well. I have showcased a game against him on the channel. That was a brutal, brutalized him. Yeah, he didn't have the best dice in that game for sure. Right, USA round 1. Tank, bomber, 2 artilleries, 5 infantry for the Germans. Tank, bomber, 4 infantry, 2 artilleries to Germany, 1 infantry to Italy. Took Karelia for 3, killed the destroyer. In 17, took Transjordan, no units lost. Taxi Zone 7, losing 3 submarines. And then attacked Ukraine. And I do feel bad here. Killed an artillery, 1 AA gun. Retreated to Poland with a tank infantry fighter, losing 2 fighters and 3 infantry. Which can only mean that the AA gun shot down both of his planes. Unbelievable result. I could not ask for a better result. That has never happened to me before, so I'm very happy with that. This will be quite a rough game for Germany after losing those 2 fighters. He did buy a bomber, so he's not down 2 planes, he's only down 1 technically, but it's still 2 fighters. That is brutal. And 3 infantry. And the best thing is, I have 3 tanks left. Russia has the option to strafe Karelia. The overall battle was an 86% in my favour. But I think I might do a 2-round strafe because on average he has 3 tanks left. I've got 2 fighters, 5 tanks left. Yeah, so I think I will try that option. I don't have to. I don't normally punish a Germany for this, but I do have 3 extra tanks here. The only downside is I'm down on average infantry, so I don't have much cannon fodder. But it's still an 86. Alright, with my UK, I'm thinking of an infantry, artillery, carrier, fighter as my buy. Been thinking of many different options here. Been thinking, do I hit 37? It's risky. Is it worth taking a risk? Maybe not. If I was behind in Europe, I might hit that. I was thinking, do I buy a submarine? Because I've been playing with the Persian IC. Now this isn't something I'm gonna play in one of these league games, but when I get the Persian IC, I've been experimenting a little bit. I tend to get a submarine because having 2 submarines in the Indian Ocean with UK air really does dead zone 36 and 35 from the Japanese Navy. I was thinking of getting 1, but no. Just get a fighter instead, that's fine. Yeah, that'll be it. Carrier, I'm going to carrier drop round 1. Because I should have 4 units in 8 or 7, depending on the outcome here. I think I'm going to take France. I'm going to offer him a straight 50-50 on my fleet. 4v4. And there is a small prize to be had. And I mean, it is a straight coin flip. I mean, it's not. I have a 57 to hold. He has a 42 to win. On average, he has nothing left. On average, I have a transport left. Yeah, so this would be a crucial battle if he can win the coin flip. Regardless, if he hits that, then the UK can just buy a new carrier and a couple more fighters. Get its new navy back up and running, and the US will arrive shortly. I don't think this will be a kill Japan. Because Germany's weak, why not bully them a little bit more? Alright. Yes, this will be my buy here. I'll commit the destroyer, bomber, fighter. I'll take a transport and the tank to take France. I'm going to trade France early. Hopefully, if he hits my fleet, I come out on top, and then I can trade it again. To deny him a decent stack on France, you'd have to commit a lot of land units to hold it, instead of a couple land units and fighters. I'm going to ignore the battleship for now. I'm going to try and kill it on US2. I'm going to put a fighter here, US fighter here, and US bomber here. So that should zone this area off. If he takes out the fighter in Gibraltar, he'll die round US 3 most likely. I'm normally against this, but I'm going to try and take it out round... yeah, round 2. Right. I'm sacking the transport to kill this and take Transjordan back. Gonna kill hopefully kill the destroyer and transport here. And I think that's everything. Good luck to the United Kingdom. Very nice. Yeah, unfortunate. I was hoping to keep that. It's fine though. It's been a while since I've seen Transjordan this strong, so I don't actually need the US fighter here. I could actually send the fighter here if I need to. Very nice. Okay. Fighter to Szechuan. This fighter will come here with the carrier. He wants to go for the carrier, be my guest. I'm swapping to... should probably clear out some of these doctrines. The names confuse me a little bit. Pick up 1 infantry. Yeah, if he wants to hit the carrier, that's fine. Bomber to Kazakh. Fighter. Fighter. Cruiser. I was considering just dropping the Navy in 7. Because then it would actually allow me to potentially shove the cruiser and the destroyer to protect the transport. But whatever, I'm just going to stick a transport and destroy here. The bomber could hit it if he really wants. He can't do both. I mean, he can with 3 fighters and 1 bomber here. Very risky though. So with this man here, he can stay put. And that is it. I don't think he'll take out the carrier. He'd have to commit both fighters. And then this fighter goes 1, 2, 3. And then lands on the carrier. Because he predicts a fighter sack. Another thing, I should have left that infantry here. That's always a mistake I seem to do. It's fine. If he wants to blitz the tank through, he can. I have an infantry and a bomber eyeing up Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, so good stuff. Yep, 2 fighters and a cruiser. Carrier, fighter, artillery, infantry. Should have moved units out of there as well, just a little mistake, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I want the carrier to die before the cruiser, because I don't mind spending money on a carrier. Cruiser is the luxury, in my opinion. It's not a particularly good unit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't mind keeping... I want to keep the cruiser if he hits it. I don't want to spend money, even though it's cheaper to get another cruiser. Must protect the bomber because of this bomber here. And then US take. And then I'll put a transport in 10 to sack and take Norway for round 2. Alright, good stuff. Yeah, slightly sloppy. I normally leave an infantry here and move every man up into Persia, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright. Well, yep. That is the end of UK round 1. I'll be back for USA round 1. Right. USA round 1. 3 transports, 3 infantry for the Japanese. Transports to Sweden 60, 3 infantry to Japan. And as you can see, a perfectly flawless round from the Japanese, not a single unit lost. Killed a total of 6 land units, losing none. Now, on average, I'll get 2 hits, right? So that was a very good round for Japan. Yeah. Killed the transport in 34, Caesar in 34. Sonia. Killed the cruiser in 61, took Yunnan, Burma, Anhui, Buri, no units lost. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Japan's going to be a real problem after that. Alright, well, with the Americans, I'm going to do 2 infantry, 2 transports, and a destroyer and a carrier. Considering Germany is hurting on air right now, I might consider a Medshuck with the US. It might be a late Medshuck, considering what I'm planning. This fleet here. Do I want the tank down south? No. We'll commit the infantry and artillery. Do I need to do that? I'm going to take Morocco. I think that's it. Russia takes. Guangdong. If a destroyer here, he could engage it with one bomber. And then I'm going to present fighter to him, Gibraltar. So I can take out US2 if he doesn't do anything. Move tank infantry up. Bring an AA gun. Infantry, plop them in Hawaii. I'm gonna stack 45. And then put this fleet what would he have? He would have 4 and 1. Would he engage my fleet? I'm going to put the UK fleet into 45, I think. Right, I think that's everything. What am I doing? I gotta keep this here. Yeah, I gotta keep the fleet here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, then I can stack 41. That's completely fine. Good stuff, yeah, so it might be a delayed med shuck. Alright, carrier, destroyer, 2 transports and 2 infantry. Alright. For Russia, I plan on hitting Karelia. If I'm not mistaken, Russia has a 87-ish to win the Battle of Karelia. With that in mind, I need more infantry. So I'm going to lose a lot here. Right, take Guangdong here. And then all in. I mean, I would say I don't mind losing a fighter, but the Russian fighters are far more precious than German ones. I'd rather not lose one. Hopefully I don't get unlucky like he did and lose 2. That would shift the power structure a lot. Right, so the objective is to go in for a 2-round strafe. On average, he will have 3 tanks left. On average, I'll have 5 tanks and 2 fighters. There is a retaliation, 5 tanks, 3 fighters and 1 bomber. I don't think that'll be enough. So I should have remaining material here. I still have 5 infantry and an AA gun. Hopefully both of my fighters still alive. So yes, I do not want to conquer this. I'm going in for a 2-round strafe. So, hopefully this pays off. One infantry here, and then the rest here, and then that's just open. I can't really do anything about that. Alright, good luck to the Russians. Oh, okay. Come on, boys. Wow, much to be desired there. That was very bad. Wow. Wow, unbelievable. That was pretty poor, all things considering, if I'm being honest. Considering, yeah, I got a pretty bad. Well, actually, it's slightly below average right now. He has 3 tanks, but this is the 3rd round, so this was pretty bad from the both of us. Obviously, he couldn't have asked for a better result. Do I pun it? I don't know. I don't want to lose the tanks. This is where I luck out and get free. Yeah, I can't risk it. I can't risk getting 3 hits. Yeah, that's disheartening, actually, a little bit. I was expecting a little more than that from an 86%. Yeah, overall, that was poor performance. Look at this. Absolutely, the diabolical dice. Horrid, in fact. That is so horrid. Yeah. At least I didn't lose a fighter. I suppose that's a bonus, I guess. Can I even hold West Russia? Because he has 8 tanks. Wow, it went so badly for me. Unbelievable. Yeah, you might actually have odds. So yeah, the battle is overall an 84. With 7.1 attacker profit. No profit for the Russians there. That was horrid. Oh no, it's slightly above average. That's overall. For the thing is, a 2-round strafe, which was what I was planning. On average, wait, how has it changed so much? Oh, that was horrid then. On average, yeah. Let's see. Okay, he would have, yeah, 3 tanks. Oh, okay. But on average, on a 2-round strafe, I would have more than this. I'd have 6 tanks and artillery, 2 fighters. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Well, now I need to calculate his odds on bloody West Russia now, because that was horrid. I didn't send any reinforcements because the idea was... I didn't block Bello because the idea was I was going to wipe this out. He would only have like 2 tanks left. Okay, so this is pretty problematic. I'm going to have to throw an AA gun forward to block his tank blitz. Because he wipes. He wipes West Russia. It's unbelievable how bad that went for Russia. That's definitely assisted Germany quite a bit. I can't believe that. I should have had a lot more units left. Those. I'm surprised I didn't get punished more for that. Both of us had well, I had unbelievably below average dice, and he had below average dice. Yeah, so the plan for Russia here is I'm gonna have to block both Ukraine and Belarusia, because he has a whopping like 90+% to wipe West Russia. Yeah, I can't allow that. It's very disappointing from Russia here. Unfortunate. Well, this is it. These guys, I mean, he suffered no units lost from Japan, so I'm just gonna do full retreat. It's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to cede a lot of free territory. Especially since this went so bad, I'm gonna need more men for the front line. Alright, well, I don't know. I think that's equaled out a little bit, considering how bad Germany 1 went. I mean, still losing 2 fires is still very painful, but the potential Russia could have had here, yeah, I mean, it would have been better, kind of, if I just didn't bother hitting it. Well, it was a calculated risk, but it kind of backfired. Alright. If he wants to hit West Russia, yeah, he has a 2%, so yeah, he's not hitting that anytime soon. Compared to if I stuck and hold. If I stuck and hold, it would be 2, 3, 5. It'd be a 52. Oh, it would have been a 50-50. Yeah, I don't want him taking that and getting back in the game like that, so I'm gonna play cautiously and sack the AA gun. Alright, well, yeah. Germany's gonna have their turn, so they'll catch up in attack power. Yeah, very unfortunate about this. Yeah. Alright, well that's the end of Russia round 2. I'll be back for UK round 2. Right, this is when my microphone, there was a software issue, I think. My audio drivers updated and it really affected the quality of my microphone. It's actually pretty bad. It affected 6 rounds. 5 to 6 rounds that I'm gonna have to voice over now. But it should be fine. I think these rounds will fly through. Essentially, the microphone would cut out the lower tones of my voice, so I can still hear the original audio from the footage, but it's pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to translate what I'm saying, the parts that are important. Right, UK round 2. Germans bought 1 artillery, 12 infantry, artillery infantry to Karelia, 10 infantry to Germany, 1 infantry to Italy. Combat: blitzed Egypt, killed the AA gun in Belarusia, killed an infantry, taking Ukraine, losing an infantry, killed the destroyer in Sea Zone 13, took out the transport, and took France, losing an infantry. Unfortunate that he did not lose the bomber there. Alright, for the United Kingdom here, 4 infantry, 2 artilleries, transport, and a fighter. That will be the buy. So basically saying US2 is when I'll be killing the German battleship. Got 2 fighters and 1 bomber in range that can all land into the Caucasus. I'll be taking France and Burma, as well as Egypt. And yeah, that should be it. I'll be stacking and holding West Russia. I'll be sending a few fighters there. I'll be holding West Russia for at least 1 more turn. I plan for the US to take Norway with a transport sack, so I can get an IC up and running ASAP. I do need to take Burma here, otherwise Japan could get a concerning stack against India. Right, that should be it, and this will be the combat. Alright, not bad combat for the UK. I think I made a couple comments on the bomber missing, but nothing too serious. Yep, sending every available fighter to West Russia here. I am choosing to retreat the UK from Africa here to stop the J3 timing on India. I will be moving my UK fleet into 45 just to follow the fleet. Don't really need the cruiser from the UK anyway. I'm planning on baiting his bomber with a cruiser and transporting 7, and I'll continue to offer a 50-50 on the UK fleet. I'm just throwing battles out there to try and pick away at his air force. Right, this will be the UK moves. Transport into 7, fighter into 8, artillery and infantry into both the United Kingdom and India. I think I'm planning with the Pacific Fleet is to hang it around Philippines to threaten a point snipe. Well, not a point snipe, but to harass Borneo and Philippines with the transport and infantry. Yep, 37 IPC for the UK, not too bad. Commenting on how thin Germany looks up front at the moment. Alright, there's the end of UK round 2. And I'll be back with USA round 2. Right, USA round 2, continuing the voiceover here. Alright, Japan. 5 infantry, 1 artillery, and an industry. Industry to Manchuria, and of course, everything into Japan. Alright, Japan took Xinjiang, Sichuan, Yakut, Soviet Far East for free. Took Burma, no units lost, and took Kwangtung, no units lost. And I'm just commenting right now the fact that Japan has not lost a single unit so far, so this is quite the juggernaut of a Japan start, so it's quite concerning. Right, the US, 2 infantry, artillery, tank, 2 transports, and a fighter. That'll be the buy. Right, for combat, I'll be taking Algeria and attacking the battleship with 2 fighters and a bomber. I'll be taking Norway with a transport sack. And I think I send 1 infantry at it only. Oh yeah, I'm keeping the tank because I might need some pressure to take back Alaska just in case Japan gets any ideas. I'll be leaving a cruiser in Season 7, and that should be it for the US here. Right, lock combat in here. Alright, not a bad round from the US there. I chose to sack the fighter. Yep, cruiser 2-7. Everything moves into Season 10. And everything moves up into place ready to shock into Europe. I'll be leaving the 2 infantry behind just in case I need to trade Alaska again. And I'll be delivering all fighters to India. Yep, the fighter and the bomber to the Caucasus, and then the infantry here. I think I choose to save them. Yeah, for later on. Right, so I'm going to move my sub to 52, and then the UK sub will go to 37. Since there's no destroyer around, so I'll harass a little bit here. Actually, I'm going to leave my sub in C-Zone 50. I'm going to bring the destroyed carrier back, and head for a med shuck, possibly. And then bring the rest of the ships into C-Zone 45. I'm going to bring the AA gun and infantry to Australia. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to threaten a point cap. Combine this harassment of Philippines with a med shuck. Right, that'll be the USA's moves here. Fighter transports on the western coast. As well as all the units as well. Alright, Russia. Round 3. 7 and 2. Alright, combat. 2 infantry and a infantry artillery fighter to Ukraine, and an infantry fighter to Belarus. And yeah, the plan is that I'm going to calculate India and then chuck a bunch of UK into Persia to help dead zone Kazakh. Alright, let's get on with the combat here. Yeah, I was just calculating West Russia here, because since I failed to kill the unit, I actually increased Germany's odds on West Russia. Only like a 33%, so it's not a big deal, but still a little frustrating to miss. Alright, everything into West Russia. And I'm going to split my Russians up with potential hitbacks against Japan. And yeah, that should be it. Yeah, so the combat is a 20 versus 20. And it's roughly a 60% to hold. So, right, that would be the non-com moves. I'm going to deploy infantry artillery to the caucuses and the rest of the units into Russia, because I want a dead zone Archangel as hard as I can. Since he could stack it and then support it with J fighters. I think what I'm basically saying here is I'm trying to encourage him to stack Ukraine with his tanks and the units from Poland. So I'm deploying lighter in Caucasus, because then if he gives up Karelia, I have a decent chance of point snipe, since I'm threatening Philippines at the same time. Right, that's the end of Russia round 3. I'll be back with UK round 3. Alright, UK round 3, and continuing the voiceover still. 14 infantry for Germany. 2 and 2 to Italy, and 10 to Germany. Took out the transport in C-Zone 3 to Ukraine, killing 2 units for the price of 1. Took France, no units lost, and took Egypt, no units lost. And further stacked Karelia. I'm talking about I'm going to consider to trade heavier with Russia against Germany to encourage more hitbacks. Alright, with the UK here. 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks. Destroy transport. And yeah, I'm going to cease offering battles on my fleet since I have more transports now, which is a bigger prize for him to hit. I'm going to discourage that now. With the US, I'm currently planning an initial Norway shark, and then I will transition to a med shark when US boats arrive from the Pacific. So the US boats actually have something else to do. Right, with India here, I'm offering him a 22%. Which is something he's not going to take, obviously. And even if he does take it, I can take it back with the UK. It's just fine. It's fine. And I can send some Russians down if I need. I can send some US down to help take it back. So it's fine. West Russia, I plan to hold it again. When I play the Allies, I plan my entire round on the UK's turn. Of course, I adapt depending on the choice of Japan, of course, but I plan my allies on UK logistics with their planes. The UK acts as the glue, right? That keeps the allies together, that sticks them together, right? Right, for combat. I'm going for Burma. Taking Northern. And that's it, apparently. Okay. I'm going to stack C-Zone 6, I think. And I'll deliver units to Norway. Alright, let's get on with combat here. Alright, a nice, simple and quick round from the UK there. No units lost. Very nice. I'm going to put one infantry in Kazakh and hopefully Japan suffers their first hit back. So the ratio right now is Japan has killed 9 allied units to the price of none, which is pretty incredible. So he needs to start taking some hit backs. Oh right, yeah, so I'll be continuing, well, I'll be shucking some units into Norway here. Stacking 6. And basically just catching the strays just in case. Yeah, I don't know. Basically double checking the map here and almost forgot to move the transport and the carrier. The UK cruiser will stay with the US fleet. And I'll send 1 infantry to Persia. Alright, that is non-com. I'll be putting a destroyer transport into 6. 2 tanks to India and the rest into UK. Alright, 31 IPC for the UK here. Pretty much an even game. Almost bang on. Alright, that is the end of UK round 3. I'll be back with USA round 3. Alright, USA round 3 and continuing the voiceover again. Transport artillery 9 infantry to Japan. Transport to C-Zone 62. 6 and 1 to Japan and 3 infantry to Manchuria. Japan took Ivenki, attacked Burma failing, taken 2 infantry losses, so that's very nice. Took Kazakh, no units lost, and took Novo, losing an infantry. So decent hitbacks there, very nice. It's about time because Japan had not taken a single hitback yet. Yeah, I mean, looking at this position here, there isn't too much of a threat on India. He's clearly not going for India at this point. Right, with the Americans here, 5 infantry, 1 artillery. 2 transports and a destroyer. Right, for combat, US will be taking Finland and Libya. I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh no, I'm trading Ukraine for Russia. And yeah, I'll be holding West Russia for one more round, but then I have to give it up because there's a lot of Japanese at Russia's back door. So yeah, I'm going to dump all the US fighters into West Russia so that the UK has all their planes free to go to India if need be. And yeah, that should be it. Yeah, this round I'll be stacking both 3 and 6, which are both roughly 80% in allied favor to hold. I was looking at whether I could arrange a Kazakh stack, but it doesn't really work. There's too many Japanese at the moment. Alright, that's it for the US combat. Let's get on with it. I'm actually kind of surprised every dice hit there. And I took the territory as well, the US. That's a nice bit of income for them. Right, so yeah, I will be sending some units to Africa here now. Deal with this German problem in Egypt. And yeah, I'll be sending a couple units to Norway to begin the shock. I'm moving the sub to 59 here. So I can pressure 64. I mean, he can take Alaska, but it'd cost him a transport, of course. Move the destroyer carrier to Sea Zone 22. And I'm going to move into Sea Zone 44. Along with the UK cruiser. Oh, apologise. This voiced over section might be heavily edited. It might not be very cohesive. And units might appear in sections because I've not covered it. There's not really any point me sitting here and just repeating every single word that I say. I'll keep it simple to save everyone time. But you can be assured that I'm doing a standard kill Germany shucking of US movement. Right, that'll be the American movement. Destroy 2 transports to the western coast. And all infantry into the western coast as well. Alright, to Russia 4 here. 7 infantry. 5 and 2. Two infantry to Bellow and a fighter. Basically counting Russia's income to see if it's worth committing to other territories to get extra infantry. I'll be trading Kazakh and Novo here. Alright, let's get on with combat here. Alright, a pretty good round for the Russians there. That's 7 more infantry for the Russians. And continue to stack West Russia for another turn, it seems. Yeah, until the UK fires hop off, yeah, we'll be committing to West Russia, yeah. I think here I'd go over for a couple minutes about whether I can actually stack Kazakh or not. And yeah, so I've done a lot of planning here. I'm actually going to stick and try and stack Kazakh here. Yeah, I've had to calculate West Russia, Kazakh, and India to try and put off this Kazakh stack. So yeah, 36 on West Russia here. Yeah, 36% for the Germans to conquer West Russia. 29% for Japan to win Kazakh. And then for India, and 27% to win for Japan on India. All of the battles are a huge negative profit for the Axis, so they won't take any. Alright, that would be the non-com for Russia here. Yeah, artillery into both territories, and then one more infantry into the Caucasus, and the rest into Moscow to make sure he does not get any ideas of stacking Archangel. Alright, well, bit of a lead there, but it is going to be Germany's turn, which they boost up the AP quite a bit. Alright, that is Russia round 4. I'll be back for UK round 4. Alright, UK round 4. And this should be the last voiced over round here. It's given me such hassle, but it should be over after this. Alright, the Germans, 13 infantry. Two to Karelia, 1 to Italy, 10 to Germany. Took Anglo-Egyptian of Sudan, losing an infantry. Took Bello, no units lost. Took Ukraine, no units lost. Took Northern, no units lost. Yeah, I'm just looking at the ratio of hitbacks. But I am getting hitbacks too, so can't really complain. Alright, with the UK here, 3 infantry, artillery, and 3 tanks. 3 tanks are for India, and it's a must, because I have to hold it this turn. Well, we'll be holding it. Don't want to give up India for free. Alright, let's get on with the combat here. Alright, so for the attacks, I'll be taking Northern Europe. And then France. I'll be stacking Season 8. I'm going to take Egypt. And that should be it for the UK. Alright, let's get on with combat here. Alright, not too bad. He did get a double hit back, and I was actually going to consider putting the UK AA gun into Northern, but since he got double hit back, I thought, best not to. But maybe I should have. He didn't have any artillery, so maybe it would have been worth it. Sub will move to C-Zone 39 and make its way to C-Zone 30 if it can. Carried to 8 with the fighters. Yeah, I'm just complaining about the double hit back. I really wanted to put the A gun there that round. I mean, I still could have, I guess. Yeah, I'm just not impressed. So yes, I will be stacking Kazakh this turn. That'll be a 68 to hold. Alright, that'll be non-com here. 3 tanks to India, and the rest into United Kingdom. I just keep looking at it, because it's getting to me. But that should be the UK's turn here. 39 IPC for the United Kingdom here. Not bad at all. Very, very even game. Right, that is the end of UK round 4. And it should be back to the regular recording of USA round 4. Right. USA round 4. 8 infantry, 2 artilleries, 1 tank for the Japanese. Tank, 2 infantry to Manchuria, 2 artillery, 6 infantry to Japan. Took Burma for free, stacking it. Took Vologda, losing an infantry, and then took Novo, no units lost. So yeah, stacked Burma is interesting. He might try and take India from me via attrition by splitting his transports and having like 6 to 2 units a turn. 6 to 4 units a turn, dropping into Burma. Eventually he'll get it off me. That would work, I think, in the long run. Alright, well, for the USA here, 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 3 transports and a fighter. I'll save the 4. I think I saved the 4 last round. I'm not sure, but I'm going to save the 4 for an extra fighter next round. And I'm going to greed an extra transport, considering the German Air Force is smaller. It would be concerning if he flies his Japanese fighters over. Yes, I think can't hold West Russia anymore, it's just not viable. I'm going to stick to the Kazakh stack here. And I'm going to stack India hard. And then try and hopefully encourage the Germans to step forward into West Russia on round 5, because if he does that, there's a point cap risk. Threat for him, I should say. Because I'll have the US fleet in 13, the UK can take France and or Karelia. US can take Italy and Philippines in this position. We'll see if he notices that or not. That's only if he steps this stack forward. He might stack Ukraine instead. We'll see. With the US, the only thing I'm doing is trading Vologda as combat. I think that's it. So good luck to the Americans. Okay, it's fine. Russia will just take it for free. These guys go here. Bomber. Fighter. 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 These guys will be picked up. I'm down to South Africa. This guy will move forward. Tank. Infantry. Drops off to French West. These guys come down to 10. These guys move across. So I have 2 transports worth here to go up here if I need. These guys come back. These guys move forward. And I'll begin med shucking. Or prepare the med shuck. These guys, I want to come here, pick up this dude, come back to here. This submarine will move to 64. Hopefully he doesn't notice it and puts like an empty transport. The UI tends to shove itself right at the very top, so you might miss that. Don't think I need to put these forward. I'm just going to leave them here. I've left a couple notes for the UK. Need the cruiser here. Not that it matters, but just keep the fleet together. I'm going to have a destroyer deploy in 35 from the UK to stop him crossing over. And that should be everything, as long as there's 3 American fighters. I'm a little worried. I think he could stack Ukraine and West Russia, and there's not really much I can do. But that allows for the point snipe if he's not careful. Dude, you'd have to restack France. Or Italy. I would choose to move this guy forward. I wasn't going to because the Japanese could cross, but I just need to buy a destroyer. If he wants to backtrack, it's fine. Alright, looks pretty good from the Americans here. Yep, sub up there, fleet there, good stuff. Putting some soft power on Japan, but as if he'd ever forget that. It just means he can't chuck units off and then buy a load of bombers to take India. Fighter, free transports. Artillery, free infantry. Yeah, that's in position. That's in position. I think carry keep is fine. I have plenty of fighters to replace one if I lose it. Yep, looks pretty good. India needs another 3 fighters, which are these 3 United Kingdom and 2 United Kingdom tanks. Russia 6 and 1. Because I don't have much artillery. I think the plan, obviously to take that, is artillery and 2 infantry. Fighter. And then debatable whether to commit 3 and 1. Russia could take Kwangtung. What is the odds here? 17? Do I do that? Best case scenario is 23, right? No, it's not. It's plus 6. 25, so it's 8 units. I was going to leave that for the UK, but this is actually slightly better. Which is 8 infantry. Right, I think this is fine. Do want to start trading down these Germans, and then hopefully I actually get some hitbacks. I'm just worried about it, because his units are quite active. In comparison to mine, so I really need to pull this off. So yeah, this should get me hopefully to 8 more infantry all the Russians, unless obviously one of the nations bombs me. Yeah, looks good. Alright, good luck to the Russians. Just like that. Oozing with luck. Oh, God. Oh, let's go. I'll take that. Can I get a lucky hit from the infantry? Not a single one. Alright. Yep, fighter letting me down. Wow. And then they all come at once. It's remarkable, it really is. Why not just get, like, the hits were there, clearly. I think putting the artillery home. What do I need? 7 infantry? So I need 1 more Russian, because I'm going to commit... I'm committing the artillery and infantry from the UK to kill the Novo units, at least. Where's his tank? It's dead. Okay, so no can opener or any shenanigans of blitzing through. Both fighters. 7 infantry. Well, the 6. Right, I think I'm happy with this. These moves. Gonna leave 6 and 2 here to try and dead zone Ukraine a little bit. I don't really care if Germany stacks Archangel, because then he risks a point cap if he does not stack France. And the point cap will be slightly subtle because the UK can just take... Would it be subtle though? Take France, 7, Karelia 8, and then the US on their turn will take 2 victory cities, and that's the game. Yeah, I like that. I don't think it'll work. I don't think I can pull it off. But the threat is there. It's unseen. Artillery or infantry, the rest here. UK will deal with this problem. I just need to kill the units, otherwise there is actually a little threat going on here. But I'll just sack him. I'll figure something out. I can fully commit the UK. Like it is a 96 with if I fully commit the UK here, it goes down to a 91. So I might just make sure that I win that and take it. Don't have to take it just to kill the units. Yeah, good stuff. Right. Well, a very good round for Russia there. That's another 8 infantry. Yeah, all UK information. Yeah, I'm very surprised I took Bello and then struggled to take Ukraine. Like, the dice are so ridiculous. It's the end of Russia round 5, and I'll be back for UK round 5. Alright. UK round 5. 11 infantry, 1 artillery. 9 and 1 to Germany, infantry to Italy, infantry to Karelia. Oh, busy Germany. Yeah. Took Italian East Africa with tank blitz, took Rhodesia and stacked it. Took France back, no units lost. Lost an infantry taking northwestern. Took Ukraine, losing an infantry. Took Bello, no units lost. Took West Russia, no units lost. Stacked West Russia. Yeah, I should be able to defend both, I think. Stack both, no problem. I don't mind if Germany wants to stack the Caucasus here at all, because it allows the Allies to flood through the north. Yeah, and this will be solved by the Americans. Fine. For the UK, 9 infantry, 1 artillery, and a destroyer. I'm going to destroyer block him so he can't cross over and wipe out or assist the German units in Africa here. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm actually going to move the UK into C-Zone 5. Yeah, 1 here, and then pick this dude up. Take Baltic. Then I'll commit infantry, and I'll make sure this dies, I think. Yep, 2 inf. Yep, that's fine. No combat here. I'm going to retreat this UK infantry and allow the Americans to handle this. What's more important? Let's do Northwestern Europe, because if the UK somehow fails, the US should be able to take care of it. Yeah, good stuff. I think these 3 tanks must return to India. What are Japan's odds on India? I need 2 tanks. I can leave 1 tank behind. The extra tank will make it a 94, and I might just fully stick to holding that because he's stacked Burma. I want to potentially strafe it next turn. And it's fine because the tanks can make it to Kazakh in 1 turn anyway. So if Japan pressures Kazakh hard enough, I can just pull more tanks across. So the fighters need to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I should have 5 fighters, 6 tanks, 6 infantry, and a bomber for a 94. The British tanks don't have to be anywhere else. You know what? Let's try min-max a little bit here. I just need to kill the units. I do need to take it though. I don't really want him stacking it. What's he got? Like 6 and 3 and 6? Yeah. Whatever, it's just trading for Russia at the end of the day. It should be fine. I just know if I don't overcommit here, he's going to get double hitbacks. And what I'm going to do with the US is come into the med and also go to C-Zone 3 and C-Zone 13. That is the plan. One, two, three. Oh, well, actually, I can commit the bomber here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's lock these in. All units are moving here. Correct. Good luck to the UK. Nice. Very nice. Responsive ACES still. Nothing's changed so far. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm glad he did not get a snake eyes there. That would have really sucked. I'll definitely take that. Good stuff, UK. Move forward. One air... no, not both. One aircraft carrier there. And then I think I plan on moving the cruiser here, or the destroyer here. The 2 transports. And then have 2 ships here. I should be able to figure it out. I'm definitely going to C-Zone 3. 3 tanks. 3 fighters and a bomber. Move along. Cruiser here. Yeah, I will note I didn't comment on it at the beginning of the round. He did stack France, which means he's not at risk of point cap. Because I have the transport here. I probably should have tried and hit it a little better by just dropping the units off in Eastern Australia. That might have been slightly less... that would have been slightly more subtle. The problem with that is he just sacks a destroyer to block me from taking it. With the Japanese, he doesn't need to reinforce it. So moving into this position, or this one, I have 2 paths to victory, right? But yeah, since he stacked France, there's no way I can point cap him now. I can get Italy and Philippines to get me to 9, but then, yeah, that's it. So he did stack it. That was the correct move. So well played on him. Yeah, that should be fine, because then the UK, if I need to flee from Kazakh, the UK will be blocking. Well, it will be trading for the Russians when they attack it. I think this is it. Yeah, I'm just going to correct this. I don't know why it insists on doing these sort of movesets. It's not what I want. It still should be roughly an 84 for the UK to hold here. It has to be on carrier keep, though. Because of 1 Japanese bomber in Xinjiang. The Germans could wipe out the fleet, and then the Japanese could come down with a bomber and finish it off. Yeah. I shouldn't need to go bombers before fighters anymore. I'll go stand and carry, keep here. Yeah, like that. So yeah, because since India's a 94, he's not going to go for that anytime soon. And let's have a look at Kazakh. I have an extra infantry now. There's another 96. The 96 battle plus battles here. 90 plus battles. So yeah, there's no way through for the Axis on this side at least. Yep, destroyer 2 infantry. Maybe I put an artillery here. You know what? Yeah, why not? So I might strafe this. If he doesn't put his air force here, I might strafe it. I have tanks. I might see if it's worth committing the air force, but I might just commit my tanks. Alright, good stuff from the UK. Alright, 32 IPC for the United Kingdom. Pretty much bang on even. Yeah, I guess he's catching up in strength. Okay. Alright, well that is the end of UK round 5. We'll be back for USA round 5. Right, USA round 5. The Japanese, 9 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank. Tank 2 infantry to Manchuria, 7 and 1 to Japan. Took Szechuan 4-3. Took back Kwangtung, losing an infantry. Took out the destroyer in Season 35. No units lost taking Novo, lost an infantry taking Vologda. And then moved off of Burma. But he can always restack it pretty hard, actually. It's 10, and then plus another 8, 18 units. 19 plus that tank. With its air force, I don't know. He might have odds on India. Round 6, round 7. We'll see. It's fine. Hopefully it's fine. 9 infantry. Tank. Industry for the Americans here. Gonna start to get a bit hairy here, obviously since Germany pushed forward, but I can get comfortable odds on all these stacks here. So more importantly, Russia itself to 84 to hold. That's not including the 1-2 because these units should be dead. In a best case scenario, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. The UK can always launch a bunch of fighters in range. If I'm desperate, I'd have to give up India, but it should be fine because the doorway's open if Germany goes in. Alright. So, with the US here, this is the plan, I think. Push down. I'm going to air raid Vologda without an infantry. It's painful, but if he does get a hit back, I'll have to sack the bomber. The fighters are just too precious at the moment. If I have the time and money, I'll get more aircraft with the Americans. And then I'll move into the Med. That should be it for the US. He could go for Alaska. But he's forced to commit the battleship, and I have a sub-destroyer battleship. And then I can take Alaska back with the tank from Western and 2 infantry. Right, good luck to the Americans here. Vital as always. Yeah. Oh, that's so unlucky. Unbelievable. Well, it was bound to happen one day. It's been a while since an infantry, artillery, and fighter has failed to take. Utterly ridiculous. But it was bound to happen. But didn't take a hit back here, so I'll have to take it. It's super unfortunate. I was really hoping to take Italy this turn. To take away his recruitment slots. That's the... Oh, man. That is a kick in the teeth. Oh, that could not have gone any better for Germany. Oh no, I'm not going to be sacking a fighter to take it either. It makes no sense. Right, what I'm going to do is actually move this... That's incorrect. I'm moving this guy down here, this fighter here. Move this guy back up, and then move this guy... to Belgian Congo. I actually can't stop what he's doing here. I thought I can. For some reason in my mind, I thought, yeah, I could just go 2 spaces, pick these guys up, and then go back down 2 spaces and drop them off. Yeah, that's not in the rule book. Oh, that annoys me so much. It really does. That should be green. Like, what are the odds of that? Do I really want to know? It reminds me of that time when I failed to take West Russia in one of my placement games. It was a vital take. Russia had to take West Russia, otherwise Germany stacks it. And then both... it's just fighters. It's just fighters. I've got... Yeah. So it's a 96. The 96.3 to conquer. I need to move on. Either that, or I commit to this transport. And offer him this battle. If Germany steps forward into the Caucasus, does it complicate the defense of Kazakh? I don't think it does, because then the UK just hits it. It does complicate things. So what I'd have to do is... Oh, wow. Okay. Where else would these tanks go? Is there a pincer move here? Because if Germany moves in, UK moves in on their turn, because they have to protect it from Japan. How do I punish a Germany doing that? I can't think straight. This has pissed me off so much. Alright, I think these are the US's moves here. After careful consideration, I actually can't I can stack it comfortably, but the problem is that if Germany actually stacks the Caucasus, he actually kills off the UK units, because Russia will have to retreat. Or would they? The problem is that if he stacks this, I don't think Russia can kill it. What are Russia's odds on this, man? Yeah, Russia can't hit that. Yeah, it's way too strong. Way too strong. Maybe if I had the extra 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Russia can handle this little stack if I fully retreat. He cannot stack it without Japanese planes. Man. But I have a feeling he's just going to restack Karelia and shut the Allies up again. I want him to stack Caucasus so the Allies are allowed to move forward. It's not going to happen. What he's done here is essentially forced me off of Kazakh. Because like I was trying to say earlier, if Germany stacks this, Japan stacks here, and then my stack is actually skewered in between 2 Axis stacks. So it doesn't matter where I retreat, the Axis will kill one of the stacks. The Russian units or the UK tank corps. I don't want to lose either, so I have to back off. The problem is that then he has no excuse, he has no reason to go and stack Caucasus. So yeah, definitely a bitter taste round for the US there. I'm not particularly happy that this failed. I kind of need some trading success against the Germans, because obviously the attack power for the Axis is building. This is no joke from the Japanese at all, so I did not need this to fail, really. I really did need to take that without sacking the fighter. Because if I sack the fighter, then it jeopardizes... I suppose I could have sent an extra fighter here, but... it shouldn't have to be the cost, right? The reason I went for it is because it will limit his recruitment. He can now stack Italy if he wants. Yeah, it's super unfortunate that Italy take. It's yeah, super unfortunate. And it doesn't. This happens often. This exact scenario. It's an infantry, artillery, and a fighter. I can never seem to take the territory. Yeah, this outcome, it doesn't happen often, but it happens more than it should. Especially throughout the couple seasons I've now played. Yeah, I need to move on. Oh, it drives me up the wall again. Should be green. Alright, 8 infantry. Right, I need some success from the Russians here. I can't have any funny business with the dice. I need it to work. So yeah, 2 1-1 and then 2 1-1 to kill this, and then no funny business, just restack into Russia here. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because this forces me to abandon this, otherwise he skewers me between 2 stacks, because he can soft stack Novo, I think. just it causes too many complications, and then the Axis actually get the other half of my stack, which would be the UK tanks and a fighter that would be exposed to the Germans, which I don't really fancy losing, to be honest. Maybe it's fine because it's UK material, which is slightly more expendable than the other teammates. I mean, that might be debatable, but I don't really want to lose those tanks. They serve a higher purpose, I think, than being offed by Germany. So, alright, good luck to Russia here. I do need a successful round after that blunder of an Italy take. That's a real kick in the teeth. I need to get momentum as the Allies, and this is not helping. It would have been nice to take at least one whole infantry recruitment as well for the US. Alright, good luck to the Russians, because they really need it here. Yep, double hit back. What a classic. Yeah, I think as a fair assessment that his dice are quite active in comparison. Yep, alright. Like, you know what? Is it worth? I might actually commit an extra infantry just to put a middle finger up to the Germans and say, "Come and take it," because I need some hit back luck. I need some. So I'll force Germany to at least commit the infantry, artillery, and a bomber. Yeah. Everything into Russia here. He will have no odds on Moscow. I could recalculate it, but it should be fine. Yeah, I already overkill it because I could stack Russia and Kazakh just fine, but since I'm not stacking this anymore, this is 100% now. There's no way he has odds on this. Well, at least that's 22. That's another 7 infantry for the Russians. That's pretty good. All right. Well, Russia put it on a good note slightly, but it's still infuriating losing Italy. It really is. And it's, of course, it's because I only had one fighter. It's the bane. I've suffered so many times with that exact outcome. Infantry, artillery, fighter is just not good enough to kill one single infantry and conquer the territory. It's too much to ask. A 96 is not good enough. You must pay the fee of one fighter if you want the territory, buddy. Don't want to get too many handouts here. I think a 96 is a bit too much, you know. A bit too little, I should say. You need a little bit more than that. But anyway, that is the end of Russia round 6. And we're back for UK round 6. Great. UK round 6. 9 infantry, 3 artillery for the Germans, 3 for Italy, 6 and 3 to Germany. Busy Germany again. Blitzed the Belgian Congo. Took Karelia, losing an infantry. Took Northern, losing nothing. Took Baltic, no units lost. Took Southern, losing an infantry. Took Ukraine, no units lost. Took the Caucasus, Losing 2 infantry, I'll definitely take that. Look, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, no units lost. Alright, so Germany has pushed forward into the Caucasus, and I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to send 6 Japanese planes into the Caucasus. Yeah, I'm actually quite relieved that he's done that, so that the door is now open. The Allies can begin to flood the north slightly. Yeah, this will be dealt with. I'm going to stack Rhodesia with the Americans. Blitz this. He could bypass with the tank, but I want him to split his forces up so I can deal with the problem quicker. Yeah, so he stacked the Caucasus, but the Allies actually have a 1-2 punch on this with okay odds. The UK can hit it with infantry, 6 tanks, 6 fighters, and a bomber. And then Russia can go all in to wipe it, hopefully. The UK will go in for one round, because I do want to save the UK Air Force. I don't want to sack it off. On average, I kill 7 infantry. If I can kill 7 infantry, Russia has a 70% with Japan fighters. So this is a potential to knock out the German tank corps and the Japanese Air Force, which I would very much like to do. So, yeah. With the United Kingdom, 8 infantry, 2 artilleries. Can't really afford to block him anymore. So, yep. He can bypass and take Egypt for Japan, which is slightly more beneficial for the Axis. Yep. Right, good stuff. So I'll try and take Karelia with the infantry tank. Gonna move into Season 8. Dedicate 1 here and then the rest here. With a cruiser bombard. 2 fighters will be needed to attack the Caucasus. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4 depending on where I need to go. I think that's everything here. I could strafe Burma with 2 infantry and an artillery. Just to pop the AA gun. I have the potential to lose India here, I think. But if the UK can achieve this, a decent 1-rounder, then it should be fine to give up India, I mean. So yes, a 1-round strafe. On average, I'll have Bomber 6 fighters left. On average, he will have 1 infantry. So I kill 7. So I'm hoping for at least the average result. I am rolling 3s, which can be quite disappointing, but I'm hoping Get at least an average here. Right, good luck to the United Kingdom. I just want to strafe this. If I can get 2 hits, perfect, I'll retreat. Alright, good luck to the United Kingdom. Wow. Okay. 4 ones. I'm hoping I didn't just use up all my luck there. This will also force the Germans to heavy trade into Northwestern, which is less than ideal for the Axis, or for Germany. He can't stack shift. He has to commit units from Germany to deal with it. Very nice so far. I'm just hoping I'm not using up all my luck. This is where I need the rolls. I really need the rolls here. Come on, boys. The potential is very high here, please. And that is not it. That is not it. Wow, I'm gonna have to... I only get 4 in the first round. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna lose a bunch of my air force if I go again. I mean, what are Russia's odds? $26. Yeah, I can't allow that. I have to go in again and hope that my rolls actually hit. And that is not it. Oh, that is awful. What is that? Man, come on. I need 2 UK fighters. I need to keep at least 2 UK fighters to go back to India so I can defend it. Oh god, he's gonna get so many bloody hits. This is so disgusting. He could wipe my entire air force out. If I retreat here, I cannot believe how disappointing this has been for the Allies here. Heavily below average here. It's a 40% for Russia. And just knowing how the dice are behaving, Russia's not going to get any better results, if I'm being honest. Wow, that's so unfortunate. It really is. I don't think I can commit to this. It's so unbelievably disappointing. Considering that if I all in with the UK, it's a 90%, and that's not even that anymore because of how disappointing these rolls have been. Every single fighter missed. Every single fighter missed in the first round. I mean, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. This is absolutely disappointing from the UK. Absolutely disappointing. I don't think I can risk... I don't think it's worth it. I really don't. It's not worth sacking the UK Air Force for this bollocks. It really is. Like, because I don't want to sack the UK Air Force. I shouldn't have to. Absolutely disappointing. The funny thing is, I've still not achieved the average result, and it's been 2 rounds. Like, this is so disappointing. Is it worth it, though? Is it worth it to get at the Japanese fighters? Because I could knock them out. The problem is now, is that Japan just has to stack Kazakh. So I'm going to have to abandon India. So, yeah, we're back at square one, really. I'm going to have to abandon India to stack Persia so I can dead zone Kazakh for the Russians next round. But, yeah, so... That is so utterly disappointing. It really is. So, yeah, I'm going to have to stack Persia. I can't hold on to India anymore. So I'd have to stack my UK fighters and bomber here. It's so disappointing. But the 40% that the Russians have, I'm going to have to take. Which means that Russia can't trade any of this back. So then Russia's exposed to a Japanese attack on Moscow. Oh, utterly disappointing. That is so disappointing. I can't do it. I can't sack the Air Force. It's just not gonna happen. Very, very disappointing from the UK. One more hit. ACES continue to respond. It's been all game. Do I go in for the kill? I can't defend India, so I might as well try and pop it. Yeah. Just one more hit. Yeah. Yeah, which means I lose the American bomber. This is completely falling apart because of this failure, and that's what it is. It's a failure. Yeah, very disappointing from the UK. I don't have much to say besides that. I'm going to have to abandon India. Russia has to deal with this problem. I can blitz here, that's fine. Then go all in. There should be plenty of allied fighters. Russia is building another 7 next round. It's not completely over. It's just there's a lot of free autonomy for Japan here. Free real estate. Can't really do much about it. This is so disappointing. Yeah, I mean, it's attacking fighters in a nutshell. It really is. I have 3 infantry and an AA gun for, 3 infantry, AA gun, and a bomber. He has 3 infantry and his air force. It might actually be a struggle for him to take it back. With just... Because he can send this fighter to engage. Well, now that I think about it, if he doesn't send the fighters here, Russia has odds, so he's forced to send them here. So... India, 3 infantry, 1 AA gun, against 3 infantry, 2 bombards. At least a bomber and a fighter. Let's see his odds on that. What I'm going to do here is give Japan an ultimatum here. Do you defend the Caucasus? Because you'll get wiped by Russia otherwise. Or do you secure a India take? If I leave 1 UK fighter here, the 56 to hold. The attackers have 31 to conquer. If he commits all of his fighters, on the other hand, he has it, no problem. This is... I have to compromise here. Because I have to try and dead zone Kazakh for Russia. Because the potential, considering how the dice are playing, I might lose everything with Russia. Russia only has 40% on the Caucasus. If he puts his fighters there. So, I'll make this difficult for him. Russia will still have to hit this to defend the Persia stack so that Germany can't wipe this out, so that UK can wipe the Kazakh stack out. It's amazing how the domino effect is a real thing in this game sometimes, because you can't get an average result with your dice. I pray for hitbacks here because I need Germany to start bleeding units, especially if this is successful. Alright, 35 attack power for the... not attack power. IPC for the United Kingdom, and I've gone down quite a bit of attack power because this has failed. Pretty odd, so... yeah. That is the end of a disappointing round for the UK. I'll be back with USA 6. Alright. USA round 6. 9 infantry, 2 artilleries and 1 industry for the Japanese here. Industry to Kwangtung. 2 artillery, 6 infantry to Japan, 3 infantry to Manchuria. Took Kazakh for 3. Took Archangel, failed Archangel, very nice. Lost an infantry. Took Vologda, losing an infantry, and then failed Novo, losing 2 infantry. I'll definitely take that. It's definitely quite the saviour, considering what I plan with the Russians, of course. So yeah, he stacked the Caucasus with the Japanese fighters. But not with all of them. He left 1 single fighter out and left the bomber out, so it's not a full stack commitment. Since he's done that, Russia has a 59 to win the battle. 60%, 59.8% to win, with a 24.6 attacker profit. That'll be only Russia's move on this turn. I have to take it. Hopefully I can knock out the German tank corps and the Japanese air in one swoop. I need this to pay off here. I'm hoping that the UK paid a luck debt so that Russia can succeed the Caucasus, right? That's all I'm hoping for. He stacked Burma. I've not even considered what I'm going to do on UK's turn yet. I'm just going to focus on dealing with this one. With the US and the Russians' turn here. He's also moved his fleet into 51. To threaten my fleet and probably take Hawaii. I'm actually going to restack 45. Bring the bomber down and bring this fighter back. Move the sub down and offer him a 50-50 battle to stack his entire navy here. He has to stack it fully here, otherwise my odds improve. So I'm offering a 50-50 if he wants to take it and keep his transport without sacking it. I'm hoping he doesn't notice that. Because anything he doesn't leave there, if he like takes the fighter out, if he sends a carrier away, anything like that, my odds go from a 48% to higher. Depending on what he takes away, of course. Otherwise, he just takes it for free, and then I just kill the transport and probably take it back. With the US fleet, it depends on where he moves. He might move to 49. Which I think is his best move. Because it stops me from going this way to Africa. Yeah, okay. So for the US, 5 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, transport destroyer. As the buy. I'll take Southern Europe, hopefully. Who knows, anything can happen with these dice. And that is it. I'm going to move en masse into Rhodesia. I invite him to push the tank down so I can finally deal with his forces because he keeps running away from me. Or I invite him to hit me head on. But he might send the tank down, take an infantry, go here, and then infantry artillery and try and take Egypt from me. To grab as much income before it runs out. I'm not going to include this fighter. It needs to go over here. It can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the bomber should go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can block me with a cruiser. If he wants. And then take it and stack it. He wouldn't need to stack it, but he would need to have enough protection against the bomber and a fighter and a submarine. So you can sack a, yeah, you can sack a cruiser and then stack it if he wants, but then I gain a cruiser, I don't mind stacking a US destroyer for a cruiser. That should be everything. Outstanding. Can my units please wake up? There we are, that's more like it. It's never simple with these trades. Like, it never is. So the fighter will come here. I need 5 transports here. The cruiser can come down. Every man moves forward. These guys move forward. Transport to here. These guys move up. Submarine comes down to 53 to force him to send a ship across to take it. I'll come and restack 45. The bomber will be sent here as well. Don't know why that's not a default at all. These 2 ships will move into 15 just in case these fighters somehow survive and threaten a 1-2. And then I can bring the ships back when I come back to 13, or I will just continue the Norway shuck, depending on the situation. These 3 fighters will stay here just in case. If I can't hold India, I mean, surely I should be able to write 3 infantry by and then hopefully all my planes. That should be enough. I might buy a bomber because I want to try and harass 61 any way I can. Might have the sub here as well, so a sub 2 bombers against a destroyer and a battleship might be a decent battle for me, considering there's 4 transports. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Yeah, I do actually like the sound of that. Because what I'll try and do here is force the Japanese to split their navy, offer them a 50-50 to stack 53, and then try and dead zone 61 or force him to buy a ship for 61, right? Or leave a carrier, right? I've got to try and limit his movement with his transport since he's going to split, it seems. Oh, yep, that's a good spot. Better pick that guy up. Doesn't matter where he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not an option. This guy might go to 20 to 10. Destroyer, transport, 2 tanks, artillery, infantry, or infantry. Russia is nice and simple. All in. This might make and break the game here. I would not be surprised if it did. I really need this to succeed for the Allies. So yes, 20. Yeah, I better put those tanks across. That would help. 4. So 18 infantry, 2 artillery, 3 tanks, 2 fighters. I am blitzing that. On average, it is a 90. Okay. It is a 59.8 to win, 52.1 to conquer, 38.9 for the defenders to survive, 24.6 attacker profit. On average, I have 2 fighters, 1 tank, which I want because I want to take the territory and remove the Japanese fighters. I would very much like at least an average. On average, he has nothing left. So we will see how far it deviates on either side. Yeah, this is definitely a key battle here. This will make or break the Allies here. Not so much the Axis. They're in a decent position against Russia here, and Japan is slowly waking up. The machine is waking up, so I need this to pay off. So yeah, good luck to the Russians. 25 versus 18. Is that right? Yeah. 25 versus 18. Alright, I wish you good luck, Russia. Alright, come on, boys. Oh, that is so awful. Wake up, boys, come on. That's more like it. That was a very nice whiff. Kill the fighters. Now that is what I'm talking about. I needed that. Desperately. I needed something out of this. This is good. This is amazing stuff. Unfortunate the tanks will die. But Russia's done it. They've achieved the objective. It wasn't in vain because UK had a horrid dice set at the time. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a huge relief. I really needed that. That was a top 32% result. Yeah, average is a tank and 2 fighters left. I'll definitely take that. And I should get some hitbacks, hopefully, from him conquering it again. I don't think he'll be able to stack it. This is amazing. It's just unfortunate that the tanks will die, but it's... Russia's done its job, and that's 6 more infantry next round, so I should be able to recover. Really outstanding. I needed that. That also protects this, which should mean UK can trade Kazakh for Russia and then still defend itself from this. Amazing stuff. German tank corps is dead. The Germans are not out of the picture, obviously. They still got a very decent amount of units concentrated here. There's no way Germany's going to bend over at this point, but it gives the Allies a lot more freedom. Alright, that is it for the Russians. Full deploy here. There's no point adding Russians here. This might give me the go-ahead to actually abandon this, or stay in here for one more turn and then just shuck Norway. I might just do that so I could secure the bridge. I think that's probably a better idea. I should stop splitting here. We'll see. I might still have to put off both, but I'd rather just fully dedicate the US here now. Maybe even the UK. I mean, the UK can go into 5 and chuck all these men into Karelia. So the US could then chuck every unit into Finland. Yeah, I think that's probably the better call. I have to keep that bridge open. And then start... Get the Allies, the UK and the Americans, stack below. So Russia can fully dedicate all of its resources, maybe besides Ukraine, to defend itself against Japan, right? And then whenever I need assistance, I could just dedicate a couple allied units to trade for Russia, right? Excellent stuff from the Russians here. I'm very, very happy with that result. That's a huge, huge fawn gone. A 1-2 punch there. The German tanks and the majority of the Japanese Air Force. That was very much needed. I very much needed that. I'm very glad I pulled that off. Right. There's the end of Russia round 7. Yeah, I'll put that there, just double checking. I'll be back for UK round 7. Right. UK round 7. 3 artilleries, 10 infantry for the Germans. 3 and 7 to Germany, 3 infantry to Italy. Took West Russia for 3, took the Caucasus losing 2 infantry, which is... I was hoping for a bit more than that. Took France, losing an infantry. Took Southern Europe, no units lost. Then strafed Northern, killing 4, losing 1. So there was much to be desired here as well. Took Egypt, no units lost. Attrition does not exist in the African continent here. He's killed quite a few of my units and has just not taken damage. So this problem continues to be a problem. Alright, so there's a couple plans laid out here. UK's got to deal with Kazakh. So Russia can deal with the Caucasus, and then the US will take West Russia and obliterate Ukraine with the tank and 5 fighters. Since he's put an AA gun forward, I'm not going to be hitting this anymore. I'm going to move away from the Med Shuck, I think, and concentrate on the Norway Shuck, considering the door is now open for the Allies to flood through. And I want to keep it open, stop him. I am worried that he'll shove 27 infantry into the Baltic states. That's what I'm worried about right now. So I need a load of units to hold him off. Russia in trouble here. There isn't many Japanese, but there's enough to cause a pretty big problem for Russia here. So I'm going to try and wipe out all these Germans. Yeah. So for the UK, 5 infantry, 2 artilleries, 2 tanks. I'm getting 2 tanks for India instead of just a regular 2 infantry, because I'm actually going to sack a transport this round to try and take France. Because I made a boo-boo with my escort efficiency. I did not need to send the carrier and destroyer down south. They needed to be in 8, so I can effectively defend 3 with no problem. And I'm not interested in him getting lucky with his bomber and killing 2 of my boats and killing 5 transports. It's just not worth the risk. So I'm going to have to compromise. First things first, I must take Kazakh. It shouldn't be a problem considering how much air force I have here. I'll blitz Baltic. And I'll attempt to take France with a bombard. I'm going to sack a cruiser and a transport. I might get lucky and pick off a plane. That needs to go here. The sub needs to go here. 36 should be dead zoned, and there should be some decent attack power on 61. Right, good luck to the UK. Mainly for France here. I would like to take it so the UK can get the money. As always, cruisers hit. But I managed to take it. I'll definitely take that. Of course. Very nice. Good stuff. Guy runs down here. These guys will go back to India to help defend. Then my fleet will move into 3. I have the tank there, I don't need to move, it's fine. mean, I could leave the US cruiser there. How many ships do I have? I just don't want him getting any chances on this. I could leave the destroyer there. It's not that bad. And then move the US cruiser up. And I'll have a cruiser, 2 carriers. I mean, do I have him risk that? And the prize is not very good. Like, it really isn't. If I'm paranoid with the US, I can just buy another ship. I'm just going to send the destroyer here. I might get lucky. It's a coin flip whether I get a hit back or not, so I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind sacking this. Sacking the UK cruiser and the transport. I'll just get another transport later on. Or have the UK sit on 6 transport, 3 transports and just buy air. Maybe less than ideal than 8 infantry, but I don't mind replacing it, it's fine. Alright, nice income for the UK. Alright, good stuff. 2 tanks, 1 infantry, and then 4 and 2 here. Yeah, so the Japanese have an 8.7% chance to conquer India, so that should be no problem. But after that, if he full dumps the units here, he might have odds. I don't think I can defend it anymore. Especially if Japan's swarming Russia, I've got to give it up. Right, 37 IPC for the UK. Still bang on even. Alright, that is the end of UK round 7. We'll be back for USA round 7. Right, USA round 7. 11 infantry, 1 tank, 1 artillery for the Japanese. Tank, 2 infantry to Manchuria, 7 infantry, 1 artillery to Japan, 2 infantry to Kwangtung. Took Novo and Alaska for free. It took Kazakh, no units lost. Stacked Novo. Yeah, this is going to get quite tight, but I think there's a small window where the Allies get there just in time to save the day. For the Allies. We'll see. I can obviously save Russia, but I might have to give up India in the process. It's unfortunate, but yeah, Russia comes first. With the United States, 12 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank as the buy. Gotta start pumping out units to shuck into Europe now, so I'm done messing around in the Med. Yep, good stuff. Alright, so I plan on committing 2 tanks and a fighter here. Hopefully I do take it back. I'm going to commit the tank to hit Ukraine with an air raid. I don't mind losing 1 fighter, but I do need to kill these units. US is then going to push forward into West Russia. And the Caucasus will be left for Russia to deal with. I'm going to push forward here. There is an attack. He can do infantry, tank, bomber. Yeah, infantry, tank, artillery, bomber against this. But he's forced to land the bomber here, which is less than ideal. because of the British Air Force right here and a bomber. This should be it for the US, I think. Not seeing anything. I'm going to move this Navy into 52 and dead zone 64. So he doesn't keep trading it over and over again. And I'll still be in range of Philippines. Yeah. Alright, I think, yeah, good luck to the Americans. They definitely need some luck on this. I don't mind losing one plane, like I said, but... yeah. I'm pretty sure these planes, yeah, they go 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, good luck to America. Alright, nice. I'll take that. Right, I need some dice from these fighters here. Oh, so close, but I'll definitely take that. No fighter loss. Very nice. Alright, can't have a simple West Russia here. Yeah, a little too late, but I don't mind taking one loss, that's fine. Move these two guys forward. Tank 9 infantry. Cruiser north. 4 guys up. Transport to 10. AA gun moves forward. Pick up the 2 guys again, come to 52. Stack my navy here. With the submarine. Fighter. One, two, three, four. There's no carrier that can make it there. 1, 2, 3. I'm not trying to. Don't need to dead zone it any harder, if I'm being honest. This fleet should be enough to wipe it. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, the fighter can stay here. Because this fleet will go to 8 anyway. This bomber. Well, I think I'm abandoning India. I can't put it there. Can't really stick it there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd need the bomber here, but is it actually safe there? I think it is. Because I want it in range of Egypt. I mean, yeah, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A bomber. If he wants to waste a bomber attack on it, fine. Yeah, he has a bomber on this target, but I have 4 ships here. That should suffice to defend 8 transports. If he somehow pulls us off, that's pretty much game ending. How many transports do I have total? 3, 8, 10. Yeah, that's correct. $48 income. I mean, he could block me. Yes. Yeah, he technically could do that. Maybe the bomber here then. Would he sit there and trade it for another turn? What have I got built? Tank. Tank fighter. Take it back. Yeah, I don't really want the harassment to be too much, but I need this to be dealt with as well. I'm hoping he pushes this way. So I can keep them contained to North Africa, and then I'll eventually start sending more reinforcements to deal with it. This would be less of a problem if he just took more damage through attrition, but I think he's killed like 4 or 5 units and only lost 1 so far. Bomb? Would he block me and then just trade it for another turn? He can afford to do that. I don't really want the harassment to be too much from him. And I could threaten him. It's still a fighter bomber. Like, what's his attack on this? It's not really much special. Anything special. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He actually has a bomber battleship destroyer on it. What if I leave the sub in 56? And then bring the bomber up? Yeah, I can't really afford him to harass the US like this. I need the US at full capacity. Going towards Europe. Yeah, I'm just worried he just blocks me. And then just trades for another turn, wasting my time. And if he blocks me and does it again, I'll have a submarine, fighter, and a bomber on his battleship. Alright, good stuff. Yeah, 4 allied ships, good stuff. I think a tank here, infantry, artillery, and the rest on the eastern coast. Obviously 6 infantry for the Russians. And then I'll be trading Caucasus, of course. For a trade, I would normally commit 4. I mean, this should suffice. I shouldn't have to sack. I shouldn't have to commit an extra infantry. Income will go up to 15, so that's another 5 Russians. Maybe I just all in to guarantee it. Yep, alright. Sounds good. The UK has to kill this. Alright, good luck to Russia. Outstanding. Wow, no units lost. That is... Oh, that is so needed. Alright, I'm very happy after that. No units lost. Outstanding from the Russians. Very happy with that. Got to retain as much strength as possible here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. 6 more infantry. There you go. There shouldn't be too much worry. It's just that Japan will have a lot of freedom to do what it wants here. He will stack Novo. He might try and stack Kazakh, so that's probably why the UK must move into Persia to dead zone it as hard as they possibly can. And then Russia will have to follow up with a 1-2 to stop him. Yeah, I think I have to give it up. I can't afford it anymore. I'll take Burma and bugger off to Persia. I'll buy like 3 infantry so he's forced to take it. Yeah. I think. I'll see. I'll see if I can... I've got to... Russia's far too important here. It's so fragile here at the moment. The Allies are not secure here, so I must put Russia first here. Alright, yeah, I would be a little bit more enthusiastic. I am under the weather a little bit, so got a banging headache and sore throat, so yeah, but that was a very good round from the Allies, I must say. Very happy with this Ukraine outcome. Almost took it. Almost like properly lucked out and took it. That would have been huge. Yeah, and then this result from the Russians is outstanding. Alright, that is the end of Russia round 8. And we'll be back for UK round 8. Alright. UK round 8. 10 infantry, 3 artilleries for the Germans. 3 artilleries, 7 infantry to Germany. 3 infantry to Italy. Took a bunch of free territory. Took heavy losses in Libya. That was pretty amazing, actually. So finally I could deal with this problem. He'll blitz here to get another 2 points, but I will be right behind him. Unless I go for the tank kill, tank on tank. I might not. Yeah, took France, no units lost. I'll definitely take that. He stacked France, I'm very happy with that. I was quite worried he would stack Baltic states, try dead zone Karelia, and then cut off the Allies' reinforcements to Moscow, so that Japan could get a Kazakh stack and get themselves established in Novo, Kazakh, or Caucasus. Yeah, I do think that was his best move, moving here. So this has given me an opening to continue the Norway Shuck and flood Europe through Karelia. Yep. Alright, well, 9 infantry and a fighter for the UK. 3 infantry for India. I can actually hold India, which I'm surprised about. The 95. Because I have a large air force here. He doesn't have really much firepower himself. So I can actually hold it very comfortably for one more round. He could just stack again, and then he'd pry off me, I think. But at least I get to keep it for one more round. And I can even shove all these 4 infantry into Persia. Alright, so I'm going to take Egypt. Blitz Burma. I have to take Kazakh here. 5 fighters. I'm going to do something questionable and actually attack this infantry. The tank bomber, because I want to take it so he can't stack his planes on it. He doesn't get any ideas of stacking Baltic. I could attempt Northwestern Europe. Yeah, I guess. I'm going to send 1 carrier. And then the fighter to deploy onto it. And then dump the entire American Navy here into Z-Zone 6. That should be more than enough to stop him. I mean, it's 1 transport. I don't know why you'd hit that anyway. But yeah. And I should still have plenty of ships here to defend against 1 bomber. This bomber, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nowhere to land. I think this is it for the UK's combat. I will embed the sub into his fleet, since he has no destroyer around. Yeah, I'm going to have to sack a fighter. To take Kazakh, I think. I have to. I really don't want to. So hopefully I'll 1 round it and he doesn't get snake eyes. I will apologise, I am feeling under the weather, so if I sound a bit off, that is why. And I'll try and reduce the disgusting noises I might make in the recording. Yeah, okay. I think that's it, man. I just need to conquer Kazakh for the Russians. Good luck to the UK. It would be nice to take Northwestern here. Very nice. Excellent stuff. I must conquer Kazakh here. And that's why you get 0 rolls. Oh, that is so lucky. That is so unbelievably lucky. I'm playing several placement games, and the amount of times I have overwhelming odds against 1 to 2 infantry, and none of my aircraft hits. It is so frustrating. Excellent. Cruiser here. This is a 50-50-ish battle. Alright, shuck them into Finland. Move a carrier down. We'll see. I might go back up to 4 transports with the UK. I might just do 6 trade. Then a plane a turn, maybe. I still have India under control, so I can't really afford to go up to 4 again until I lose it. Alright, outstanding from the UK. Success everywhere. I mean, it's just, it breaks my mind, it really does. When everything misses, it's laughable, it really is. Oh, better move these guys forward. I have to dead zone it. I have to dead zone it, Kazakh as hard as I can with the UK. 3 infantry and then 6 for United Kingdom. US must move their navy here. Yeah. Well, hopefully I get some decent luck here. Otherwise, it's pretty much dead, right? But I still have an attack on this. I have a bomber and a sub, so whatever he clears it with, I have a counter-attack. Just wish I put the bloody fighter there now. Yeah, I didn't really need it for that engagement. I should have put it there. It's fine. Yeah, I've got a banging headache, so I'm just quintuple checking my moves so I don't miss anything. Alright, very good round from the UK. Very much needed income as well. And the game is break even. Yeah. Alright, that's the end of UK round 8. So we're back for US8 round 8. Right. US8 round 8. 1 fighter, 10 infantry, 1 tank for the Japanese. Fighter 6 infantry to Japan, tank 2 infantry to Manchuria, 2 infantry to Kwangtung. Took Burma for free, and then lost an infantry taken back Kazakh. Further stacked Novo. And as you can see, he's got a pretty decent chunk of units ready to stack Kazakh next round. I don't think I can stop it, if I'm being honest. That is 29 infantry, 10 artilleries, and 3 tanks. Yeah, I think he's going to get himself established here. There's not really much I can do about it. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't attack my fleet either. He backed off completely. Alright, well, the US's turn. 12 infantry, 3 artilleries. That will be the buy. For combat, think take Bellow here. And I'll try tank v tank. And hopefully I just kill it. I don't mind if I can't take it, I just want to kill the unit. So he can't blitz his tank to Morocco. I think that's it. Yeah, point cap's never gonna happen because he's stacking France. Since he's not stacked Burma, I can actually use India as a recruitment zone just to send units up through Kazakh. I don't really care for India's safety anymore. The pressure's been relieved so much. He has no air force or any real attack power on this, so I could literally leave like a very small defense. If he wants to stack Burma, that's fine, right? I don't even think I'm going to trade this on UK's turn. Alright, good luck to the Americans here. Nice stuff. I just want to kill the tank. Even better. I'll definitely take that. Excellent. Five fighters. Yeah, I mean, I've calculated it without the American units. I might leave them in West Russia. I don't know. Now, what do I want to do here? I think I'm actually just going to leave the fleet in 52, just a dead zone 64, because I have to try and minimize the Japanese harassment against the US so I can send as many units across to Europe as possible. And still apply decent pressure on Philippines. Of course, Japan. Not that I would ever hit that. Unless he actively made a mistake and didn't recruit any units for a turn. The AA gun would be interesting to send over, I suppose. But these units, they don't have to go anywhere. I plan on moving a UK here. But do I move the Americans in there? Otherwise, he just moves the Germans forward. In mass. I suppose I could threaten a bellow stack, but that's not really going to help. I need to get the allied units in West Russia so I can supply reinforcements whenever I need. I think I'll leave this as it is right now. Right, I'm going to move the submarine to 52. These guys, like, he can send a battleship destroyer there. I might move the fighter to Canada. This bomber. Maybe I should start recruiting a bomber return with the US. Just to deploy it here and then send it across. I'll leave the bomber here. Or here. Doesn't really matter. I'd rather it be in range of 64 because I do want to dead zone it. Yeah, I guess it could go here. I'll move these guys up. They'll make their way to Persia. Alright, 1-1. Yeah, I think the plan is to create a 2 infantry chain on this side. Because I might need to apply some pressure on Alaska to keep it mine. I'm going to begin a chain. It's fine. I have a spare unit here anyway, so that's technically 12, so that's another 6. But I only have 10 transports right now. I don't need 12 units sitting in Canada. I have the IC up and running as well, so that's essentially another 2 transports. Alright, good stuff. Russia is a nice and simple turn, 5 infantry. Now I saved this for Russia, in particular, Ukraine, because I have 15, 17, 19, 21. That'll be another 7 infantry for the Russians. Of course, I have to take I have to take Kazakh, right? Right, good luck to Russia. Classical fighters. Serving no purpose other than just watching the fight happen. Yeah, I mean, if I've miscalculated here, it's fine. I have Allied air here. I can send over. That's it. 7 more infantry for the Russians. There's a 95 to hold. On average, I have infantry, artillery, 7 fighters left. So it's quite a comfortable hold. But he won't hit that. He's going to go for the most... it's quite an obvious Kazakh stack here, so... not really much I could do about that at all. This little group of infantry will probably use the trade. Both territories and then just full stack. Might start buying tanks for Kwangtung. Yeah. It's a lot of Japanese swarming. They are quite strong, so... yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a flimsy position the Allies have on this. I just need to get a huge stack of allies into West Russia so I can supplement more Allied units into Russia to defend Moscow and to ensure that the Caucasus are dead zoned, so we can't stack the Japanese on it. But yeah, I suppose Germany could push into Ukraine. I'll have to see here, because it might be worth the Allies stacking Baltic instead. Yes and no, because there is a lot of German units. So, probably not. Yeah, right. Well, that's the end of Russia round 9. And we'll be back for UK round 9. Alright. UK round 9. 12 infantry for the Germans. 10 to Germany and 2 to Italy. Took Northern Europe, losing an infantry. Took Baltic states, no units lost. Took Ukraine, no units lost. Lost 2 infantry in Bello. I'll definitely take that. And stacked Ukraine. and continues to stack France. I want him to do this. I don't want him pushing a load of units forward. So I do prefer this. Yeah, he's stacked Ukraine to go trade the Caucasus and put pressure on West Russia. I think against my better judgment, I will shove the 4 infantry in here. They will die. But it serves as a distraction for the Germans, so he prioritizes trading the Caucasus instead of hitting the Americans in West Russia, I think. The problem is that Japan is going to stack Kazakh on their turn. Not really much I could do about it. And I'm hoping he moves his stack into Persia and goes for India. That buys the Allies more time to get solidified here. For the UK, 7 infantry, 1 artillery, and another fighter. Probably not going to buy any more fighters after this point. I just wanted to deck out 1 carrier, so I have more trading power. Right, so all I'm going to do is try and take Northern Europe. Northwestern Europe. I think I will try and trade. Karelia. The Americans will trade Bello, I think. Good luck to the UK. Fighters being fighters as usual, missing their target. Excellent stuff. Gonna have to retreat from that one. Right, at least I took Baltic, I guess. That's quite annoying. Couldn't even kill the unit, so he saves it. Right. I'm gonna move 4 infantry into the Caucasus, move these 3 out. Move the AA gun and 2 infantry here. Move the 4 guys across. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate that I failed that. It's just another case of when I failed Italy. Infantry, artillery, and a fighter versus 1 infantry. I couldn't even kill the unit, I don't think. And then this is pretty much the exact same. Yeah, it's just classical fighters being absolutely useless. But now I have 2 fighters, so there should be no excuse for this kind of crap anymore. Yeah, that kind of hurts because I need the income, but yeah, and I kind of need to trade with Germany to keep his numbers down. He can't really afford to have that sort of problem happen over and over again. I mean, the UK's job here is to trade, and if I can't even trade with them because I can't kill the unit, I mean, come on. Okay, I think I'll do a swap here. I think I'll bring the UK down. Oh, another thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent, really. I'll leave 3 ships here. Yeah, since I failed that, this bomber can now range on Sea Zone 6. It's just perfect, really. But I'm going to start swapping and keeping the UK in 6 and keeping the US in 3. Alright, that is the end of the UK's turn. fighter, so no more excuses of failing a trade, hopefully. Now, India should be safe. 3 infantry, AA gun, tank, 5 fighters against 7 infantry, 1 fighter, 1 bomber, and 2 bombards. For a 95 to hold. Alright, well, that's the end of UK round 9. I'll be back for USA round 9. Alright. USA round 9. 10 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 tank for the Japanese. Tank, 2 infantry to Manchuria, 2 artillery, 6 infantry to Japan, 2 infantry to Kwangtung. Took Vologda, no units lost. Took Kazakh, losing an infantry, and stacked it. And that's a serious stack on the door of Moscow. It's very, very significant. Yeah, I think depending on what Germany does affects the odds on Moscow. The best I can offer is a 60% to hold for the Allies. But I could entice them with a 50-50. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But, yeah. And then he stacked Burma at the exact same time. So all these units are dead. Pretty much. It's fine. I'm gonna buy a destroyer and 2 infantry and move the 3 infantry into Persia, I think. I don't know what the Germans are doing. If Germany hits the Caucasus, then I have less defenders. If Germany can kill all these 6 infantry, the max defense I can offer is a 60%, so we'll see what happens here. Japan is very, very strong. But round 9 as well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. With the Americans here, 11 infantry, 2 artilleries, and a transport. I'm only going to trade Aurelia, I think. Because everything else needs to stack West Russia. And go into Moscow. The only concerning thing is the fact that Germany could attack West Russia. I'm not sure if he will, but he might. Alright, great stuff. I could move the stack here. But I think it's more important to hold West Russia than protecting these units, I think. I don't know. Right, so I'm going to send 6 transports. These guys, I think I'm going to leave them in Africa to prepare for the Japanese to land. Here, I want to leave the Southern 59 and come back down 245. I think. Because I want to apply pressure on all three of these, I guess. Move the 2 infantry up. Move the 3 transports. He's not placed his bomber here yet, so I don't have to sweat about defending 10 just yet. Yeah, it's quite alarming how much pressure Japan's managed to apply here. So, what do I have here? I'm going to have 16 and 1. But then it'll be 15 and 1. I'm committing 1 and 1 here. Plus 7. That's 22, 1, 1, 12. I need 12 fighters here. For a minimum, but the problem with that is that's a 67 in his favor still, which means Germany needs to not trade West Russia and the Caucasus. I don't think he can handle both anyway, but if Germany doesn't hit this, then I have an extra 6 infantry. Yeah, because I have to send everything. I literally have to send all my UK stuff. How many fighters? So that's 7. Plus 7. Wait, no. I'm missing 2. No, it's a 68 in my favour without the UK infantry. I might offer him a 50-50. I'll decide that on UK's turn. It might be worth to rid this value if he goes for it. But he doesn't need to go for it, right? You can just stack West the Caucasus and I can't do anything about it. I don't think I can. The American stack and the Russian stack are just not big enough to 1-2 it. The UK and the Russian stacks have just 1-2'd the German one. I'm not ready to do it again, you know? I'm not ready to go for an extra round on a huge stack. That should be it. Alright, good stuff. 7 infantry. The only combat is trying to kill these 2 infantry. That is it. Alright, good luck to the Russians. I just want to kill the infantry here. Can't even get a hit in the first round. Or the second round. Wow. Immaculate. Immaculate performance. At least I killed the units, I guess. It wouldn't have mattered. I would have saved the money anyway, but it's just ridiculous sometimes. Alright, well, that's it. Seven infantry. If Germany takes the Caucasus, I'm not going to flip it back to Russia. I'm going to leave it blue. So I want him to make that mistake and trade the Caucasus. You probably won't, but yeah, that would be a mistake because then Japan can't really stack it. That is the end of Russia round 10. We'll be back for UK round 10. Alright. UK round 10. I'm hoping this UK round would be a nice, calm, and simple trading round. I'm playing some ACES placements, and my god, the dice are cruel to me today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It's my brain cannot comprehend how brutal the dice can be, and it hasn't let up yet. So I'm hoping this allies is a nice this UK turn is just a nice and calm. Take a breather here, you know. Alright, so yes, UK 10 here. Germany bought 11 infantry. 10 and 1. Yeah. Strafe the Caucasus, killing 2, losing 2. So I'll take that. It's unfortunate that he didn't luck roll and then conquer it, because that would be pretty good for the Allies there. If he had conquered the Caucasus there, but no. He's going to leave that for Japan to stack onto. Took Bellow, no units lost. Took Baltic, losing the infantry. Alright, good stuff. Nice amount of hitbacks. Alright, for this turn, 8 infantry and a destroyer. Because as you can see, Japanese stack here, it's going to go stack onto the Caucasus, and then you have this one. And it's and all the bombards and an extra infantry. I can't realistically hold India without these fighters, and these fighters must go into Russia. I'm going to give up India, buy a destroyer, protect the units on the coast for a turn, and stop him from crossing over and spreading out into Africa super quickly. It buys me time as the US to prepare some units going down, possibly. I didn't buy the transport for this purpose, but I might have to start sending 2 infantry a turn from the overall stack. So it'd go down to 10 units a turn in Finland. Well, it'd be 12 with the IC. Roughly 12 a turn moving down. I think I can manage that. Yeah, I might buy another transport and leave 2 infantry behind and just shuck. Of course, things get complicated if he puts his bomber in France. I don't know why he's not done it yet. But I think that's a micromanaging issue. It's not too... It's just... This is easy, right? I don't have to think about it. I do have the ships to stop that. So what I might do is actually move a US destroyer, even a cruiser, just to C-Zone 10. So I can put it in C-Zone 23, just in case he moves the bomber here, and I have a coin flip whether or not I kill his bomber. Yeah, so this will be the buy. Right, a couple things for the UK to do, I think. Alright, so I think I want to try and trade Bellow, Baltic, and I'll take Northern Europe. And I can shuck the rest. 2 fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. as long as they have 2 movement. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, good stuff. And then the bomber can assist Bellow, I guess. I could send an artillery piece. I might move this UK unit into West Russia. I don't mind leaving this open. If he wants to leave it open as well, that's fine. We'll keep it as a DMZ zone here. I think I'll commit the artillery piece. I do want to trade it, so I could trade some of these units from here. I'm not sure the purpose of this. I'm not sure. I think he plans on stacking the Germans onto the Caucasus. But I don't have the power as the Allies to really whittle down the Japanese stack. So yeah, I'm gonna try and I will try and hold both. I don't think I can because he just moves forward. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that should be the end of the UK's turn. Yeah. All right. Let's get on with it. Yeah, I mean, I did fail this trade earlier, I think. So, hopefully it doesn't fail this time. As long as the fighters can make it back to the carriers. Yep. 2, 3, 4. Yep. Alright, good luck to the UK. I need this income as well. We're going to lose India. Just like that. Outstanding dice rolls. I see it's not changed today. Can I please wake up? Oh, bless. Alright, thank you, bomber. You're the first bomber to have not let me down today. Oh. Can I please one round this one, please? Thank you. And yeah, no units lost, so there's a potential to get a couple hit backs. Slight relief. I'll leave the UK. Yeah, that's fine. Just in case I actually want to move the Americans forward in mass. I have to. And then Germany can trade it, I guess. Right, move the 4 infantry forward. Alright, run away. AA gun. Doesn't matter where it goes. The Japanese can take it with either or. With no planes involved. So I guess run away. Do I leave one here for a potential hit back? I guess I need some hope. Run away. Yep, that is done. UK cruiser has moved. Good stuff. All right, good stuff. So the final offer for the Japanese, if they want to go in on Moscow, they have 29 infantry, 11 artillery, 4 tanks, 2 fighters and a bomber, 47 units versus AA gun. That should be 24 infantry now. Yeah, 22, 24. 1 artillery, 1 tank, 12 fighters. Yep, 7 plus 3 plus 2, yep. 2 bombers. The Allies are on bombs before fighters. For a total of a 66.3% chance to hold. Japan has a 33. If I, yeah, 33%, exactly 33% to conquer. With a 0.9 attacker profit, so it's dead even. Which would be worse for the Allies, I think, in this situation. But if Japan conquers it, the US retakes. And I think Russia can still recruit. I've not had that exact scenario played out before, so I assume Russia can recruit on the same turn. And the Japanese pressure would pretty much be gone, except from the small Indian stack. The stack in India. So I invite him to hit that, but he doesn't need to. He won't, as long as the US are in range. I think. Yeah, I can't really think of a way of how I'm going to bring the pain to Berlin just yet. I have to make sure Russia is secure. If he doesn't push forward and just trades it, that's strange. That would be a bit strange. He doesn't need to. He can stack it, I think. Destroyer, 2 infantry. 6 infantry. He could strafe it and put Germany on there, but that's not a good move. You want Japan on the Caucasus here. Could build an IC. Like, you could strafe it, build an IC. And put Germany on there. That'd be weird. But I'd welcome that. Because that's a mistake. You do want Japan on this. Alright. $36 income for the UK. Dead even. Dead even. Wow, okay. That was a pretty good round for the UK, actually. So, I'll definitely take that. Definitely a change of with how my other turns are going for my other games that I'm currently playing. So, yeah. That's the end of UK round 10. I'm back for USA round 10. Alright. USA round 10. Fighter, artillery, 10 infantry for the Japanese. Fighter to Sea Zone 62. Artillery, 5 infantry to Japan. 2 infantry to Kwangtung. 3 infantry to Manchuria. Killed the destroyer in Sea Zone 35. Took India, killing 2 infantry, no units lost. Attacked Persia, losing 4 infantry and a fighter, which is a very good result. I'll definitely take that. Took the Caucasus and stacked it. Yeah. I'm not sure why I mean, there's always that risk, right? I'm not sure why he went in with planes against an AA gun, but it looks like I got lucky. I'll definitely take that. Okay. What am I doing with this? I could stack the US and the UK into Egypt. He doesn't have a particularly big air force, and 4 infantry, 2 bombards, and 1 fighter, 1 bomber. I don't think it's going to be a particularly effective attack if I send 1 fighter down. might see my odds on doing that. I could send a US fighter to Egypt and stack the allies on top. We can't take Egypt and then put like an IC down. Interesting. I suppose I could do that. Right, so the buy will be 10 infantry, sub, and a bomber for this side. Alright, so this will be a couple important turns because there is a risk of a point cap since India is now lost. Obviously Japan can go after Hawaii now that he's got the fleet back here. I'm going to try and dead zone it from him pushing forward. But also, as you can see, you've got 2 Axis stacks right here. Germany could stack West Russia once I give it up. And then Japan stacks on top. And then both Axis members stack Karelia, whilst holding France and Germany. I could send a transport to threaten Italy, but it doesn't take many Germans to hold that. So that's a very significant threat for a point cap. So I have to protect Hawaii at all costs, pretty much. Because he might be strong enough to stack there. I don't know. But then this fleet moves 1, 2. And then if he can stack both of his navies here, I'll have to make sure within the next 2 turns my navy's strong enough to kill his and take this back. So I think I might fly this fighter over so that I can build a carrier if need be. And a fighter. Just to ensure its defense, or at least put fighters on Hawaii. I think that'll be fine. I'm buying the bomber because I'm not going to fully commit to this, because he might just ignore it entirely. But the bomber puts pressure on 59. I'm going to try and dead zone it now. I'll have 2 subs, destroy a battleship and a bomber. It is problematic. He has a fighter here which can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he can actually stack this navy into 59 right now. And he'll have a 56 to hold. With a sub buy and a bomber. I might have to buy another sub. Yeah, because if I buy another submarine, it makes it a 75 in my favor to wipe him. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this cruiser is not a US one, because that would be a lot more handy, but it's fine. And what I'll do is bring these 2 guys back down, move 2 guys across. And I think deploy the 2 infantry here into Hawaii. The AA gun's pretty much dead weight now. It's dead. They don't even need Air Force to commit to take Australia now. So I'm just going to leave it with the UK infantry. Oh, well, I don't have to. I could bring it. Yeah. Gives me a... I might get lucky. Alright, I'll go with this, because this is necessary to stop losing in 2 rounds, I think. Yeah. Alright, so for the US this turn, I have a lot of units here, so I think I'll trade all 3 of these for Russia, and then Russia will move in if I fail to take them for Russia. I have plenty of air force here. As long as one commits here, I can go down to Egypt. One. Yeah, if I stack Egypt, it's an 80. Where is it gone? It's an 88% to hold. I think that's important. I'll probably have to commit this transport to add some units. Because he could go grabbing Africa straight away and play the long game, which is what I expect. Yeah, so I'm going to have to dedicate some units. I'll have to bring the cruiser back just in case he puts the bomber in France, so I can send the cruiser down and then get a coin flip odd on holding against the bomber. This should be it for the US, I think. Alright, let's lock this in. Good luck to the Americans. I'll take that. Anything but the bomber dying. I'll take anything. Great stuff. Great stuff. Alright, nicely done. I'll try and kill this, I think. I'll send 1 UK infantry, because I have plenty of air force here to trade it. Just to kill it, right? If I can take it, then his tanks are cut off from going to Africa as well. That'd be a pretty clutch take, actually. He would have to come over and physically take Transjordan, and then he can blitz his tanks through once he's taken this back. Alright, America will retreat into Moscow. Bomber will come here. 5 infantry and artillery here. I'll send the 2 tanks across as well. Every man will move over as well. No, that's not what I want. I'll pick up the AA gay. The AA gay, nice. The AA gun. Come here. Submarine, come here. 2 infantry down south. 2 guys across. Bring these guys across. Bring the 6 transports back. I should have plenty of units here, so there should be no problems. I'm actually going to commit this transport now. I want the cruiser back. It's a shame Russia doesn't have a tank, so I can blitz anything that the Allies clear for it. It might be worth buying a tank for that reason. I don't have much money. I can't really afford to spoil myself here. So I want to equate this. And the fighter will go here, I think. Do I bring a carrier back? Is then 1, 2, 3, 4. Possibly. Having 2 ships down here would be better to defend from this bomber. And then the fighter could just fly over once I buy a carrier and a fighter next turn if I need to. Yeah. Do like the sound of that. Alright, good stuff. Don't think there's anything wrong with that. Bomber, 2 subs. 2 infantry, 6. We'll see what happens here. I think he can just walk in and stack it. That would shut the door here. Yeah, and then what? Germany gets stronger again. Not much I can do about it. Yeah, I can't really stop that. It would keep Russia alive, but this keeps Germany alive. Yeah, I don't know. It buys time for Germany, but then it also buys time for Russia. So I don't know. It would prolong the game if he does that, I think. I don't think I could stop that. He could even shove these guys here and give up France. And then what? Like, gives up France. Stacks Germany here and here. Japan here, and then what? That's the door closed forever. Then Japan will make its way back. Or try to, right? Yeah, a lot of power in the Axis hands. I think it's a Axis favored position. Definitely. There's a lot of flexibility of what you can do with these units. I just don't think I can hit this with the Americans. I just don't think they're strong enough yet. I just don't have any artillery, really. They won't arrive in time. Especially now I have to dedicate resources to protect a point cap, because he could go for it. Definitely a move. He moves forward, I'll pick up 2 guys and hit him. He will respond, I'll have to build a new navy. That's so problematic. He could force the US to trade navies. I might have to send reinforcements. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Five guys from the Russians. That'll be it for combat. That's why I want a tank, ideally, with the Russians, so I can just blitz. I might buy a tank next round. Since I got the extra point, it might be worth it. Alright, I think this will be the move set. I'll send 2 infantry and 2 fighters. That against a tank, infantry, and a bomber seriously is not a threat. So I'll protect the American units here. Japan has 0 odds, even without the UK fighters there, or the Russians. In fact, they have no odds without... I can move all allied fighters out if I need. So, it might be possible to stack Karelia. Now that I think about it. Because Russia doesn't need fighters. Got to be careful of the 1-2 still. Especially if Germany loses fighters here. Again. Or here. Or in range. Might be able to pull it off. Because I have so many fighters available. I just have mass infantry. Japan just does not have the firepower to go through 44 infantry. So yeah, that could work as a backup. If he does stack it, I might be able to pull it off. Keep the door open. It depends. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I might buy a Russian tank so that when the Allies trade for Russia, I can just blitz with Russia and save an infantry, because it's obviously going to die anyway. So yeah, it's not as dire as I thought it would be. I think I can actually hold both. Unless Germany, if Germany stacks Baltic, then it's probably not an option because there's a 1-2 on it, but we'll see. I can move these guys back, I can move the tanks back, I can move fighters in. I can move the UK into 5 and full deploy all units here. I can put UK fighters, like it's... There might be too many factors that he might actually not go with that idea of stacking it. We'll see. Alright, it's... I don't know. I think it's still slightly Axis favoured, but we'll see. I think Russia is secure. I don't think they're going to fall anytime soon. It's just there is a legitimate risk of a point cap. So I gotta be cautious with that. Alright, that's the end of Russia round 11. And I'll be back for UK round 11.